And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce the present and next mayor of Newburgh, New York, Judy Kennedy.
I want to say, first of all, thank you. Thank you to everybody who's up here. This is our podium for today. Another creative solution, right? Another creative solution. So thank you for everybody being up here, for their support, and for all of you. This is just a small sample of the people that have been rallying after the primary election, because I think it caught everybody by surprise. And so, you know, I just want to say thank you for that. Thank you for the support that's coming. We actually chose this spot for phase 2 of this mayoral campaign as another example of what is happening in Newburgh. 3 years ago, this building was an empty shell mess. It had piles of garbage over there on that piece of lot. They were backing up to the lot with the dump trucks at night. And so this is what happens when we collaborate. This is an example of the land bank coming together, a developer, the state, the housing funds, all of the city hall, everybody pulling together to create yet another nice housing unit, cleaned up, taken care of, and giving our people affordable, clean, safe housing. That's why we chose this place. With the groundswell of support and the huge coalition of people that have come behind me, I have decided to press forward on this mayoral campaign as the independent Democratic candidate. Get that one. Independent Democratic candidate. I am a Democrat running on the independent line, working across party lines with Republicans and everybody else. And so when somebody says we're not supporting the Democrats, well, we are. Are we supporting the Republicans? Well, we are. Are we supporting the black community? Yes, we are. Are we supporting the Latino community? Yes, we are. Because that's the only way this city is actually really going to build. We are supporting everybody, and everybody is supporting the project and what we need to do. And it is with energy, and it is with ambition. It's breaking down all these old grudges and all these old polarizations that we are pulling together. Many groups are uniting for us to move forward, and that's what is really wonderful. I think this is actually a great blessing in disguise, because it has caused people to come together and coalesce in a way maybe they never could have. We have, am I right? Yeah. Am I right? Making lemonade out of lemons, right? So we're busy stirring the juice now. So, you know, the thing is, we have come a long way already. As you just heard Jeannie in her speech that was given for her, iterate a whole lot of things that we've actually accomplished. We've created a new Parks and Rec department, working on the youth initiative. When I was elected 4 years ago, I said we were going to work on having something for our youth to do. The Newburgh Armory has exploded. The Boys and Girls Club is working on an expansion. More things are happening. The Parks and Rec department. And we've built a new park. Right? Hiram Crab Park. It was actually 30 years sitting there languishing. 30 years. So it's been a long time promised and finally arrived. We've secured over $4 million in grants to revitalize and rebuild our neighborhoods just with the land bank and the Attorney General. The Attorney General and I have been working together on a very collaborative basis to bring more money into this city to work on the buildings here. That's a relationship you don't want to lose, folks. That's a big relationship. We've hired a new police chief, and we've got police finally walking on the street again. Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Right? And body cameras coming in the end of October. We've run our pilot. We've got body cameras now on the police. That starts building more collaboration and more confidence in everybody. We need to keep doing these things, finding the money, and by the way, the most creative thing about our council is finding money. Because the money isn't just laying around. We'll get to that again in a minute. And we've set aside $1 million to start a resurfacing program. We did that in March. We took some from this pot, but the real deal here is that we have a city manager that actually started showing up at the transportation meetings at the county and saved our CHIPS money. That's how we're doing this. We need to support him because he's actually showing up. He isn't sitting in the office, he's everywhere trying to build a coalition and try to get support for this city. I am continuing my campaign because I see a great future for Newburgh. I saw it 4 years ago and I still see it. It's there. This is a city with a great future. I see Broadway finally coming to life again. I see a median down the middle with greenery, crosswalks with lights, street furniture, flowers, and people shopping. Is that possible, guys? Yes. Design a demonstration project is going to begin any day now. They're already got the plans and laying it out. I see us putting the heart back in the city of Newburgh that was torn out over 50 years ago. They tore down 2,000 buildings on the waterfront. 2,000 buildings, the very heart of the city. It's time to put that back. So we're working on getting that old sewer that's there moved, and I'm working with the governor's office, with the people at the state to find the money to move a sewer that costs 16 to 18 million dollars because the developers and the people want to come. We need to put shopping, right, mixed use, housing back down on Water Street and bring in some tax base so we can manage this city. Some money. We need to bring in some of the money off from the waterfront that sits down there and never comes back up here. We need it in the city, right? We need it in the city. So we need to push forward on that project. It broadens our tax base, it brings jobs, and it stabilizes the whole city. I also see our neighborhoods beginning to stabilize. The one that we did with Habitat, East Parmenter, is a great example of that. But what you don't know is that there's several projects lined up around Lander, Johnson, in that area. In the next year, you could well see over 40 buildings go up because it's all in the planning right now. This is what people don't understand. It takes planning, it takes a lot of hard work, it takes funding. But those buildings could come back and provide a lot of housing, stable, affordable housing as we bring our people to a nice neighborhood. You know, no more projects. We're not warehousing people anymore. We want stable, diverse neighborhoods. Rich, poor, black, white, Hispanic, we all got to learn to get along. And I see our streets properly maintained. We're already working on that. We're already working on that with $1 million. But to create this vision, we have to focus on the issues of today. I've already looked for solutions to multitudes of problems, as you're already aware. You know, and I know, there are no easy answers. Unlike my opponent, I don't pretend there are easy answers. Much as I'd love to just go fix the streets, fix the sewers, tear down the dilapidated buildings and hire more police officers, we can't do that without raising the taxes and creating the rents to go up. We just can't do it, and it doesn't just happen. Unless somebody you know, or he knows, has got a printing press somewhere we don't know about that's printing money off. Yes, I'm angry about the taxes. That's what got me into this job in the first place. And yes, even one robbery, even one murder is way too many. But change is coming, and change is not that easy. So it takes this collaboration to make it happen. A few words on a street sign is not going to be the solution. And my opponent just plain doesn't bother with facts. I think he thinks he doesn't have to. So he lies about my record because he thinks that will distract the citizens of Newburgh. I want to make it clear and certain right here and now. I am not a slumlord. nor have I ever been a slumlord. It just is not true. That whole story is a fiction. And all of you probably know how I got into this deal, by helping my son out of a mess. So somebody took some pictures in the first phase of trying to turn those buildings around. They are turned around. They are code compliant now, and we're on a roll. I think the record of achievements that I and the City Council and all the partners, because I certainly haven't done any of this alone, the partnerships, the collaborations between the state, the county, the city, all the nonprofits, all the volunteers, is what's moving this city forward. That's what I talk about all the time. That's what I believe. Collaboration and teamwork is the only thing that's going to move us forward. And we can't stop now. We can't afford risking to lose our city manager. And I'm going to tell you, that's the first thing on the agenda. And there's more on the agenda. To change the charter, to change the police chief, to set himself up as the kingpin, and manage from the top down. Collaboration and teamwork aren't in that vocabulary. So we've got to keep moving this city forward, and I promise you that I'll keep doing exactly what I have been doing already, and that is collaborating, working, moving things forward in the way we have already been doing. And I want to say this, I also will work very hard with our council to hold our city manager and all the city department heads accountable, right? We've got to keep city government very, very visible. We want people to know what's going on there. If there's one thing we need to work on, it's trying to communicate. It's not easy, but we need to keep trying to work out ways to communicate what's going on. So that needs to happen. Right now, I'd like to challenge my opponent to a debate in public where the voters can judge. Where the voters can judge for themselves who they really want and who's capable of running this city. So I'm willing to answer any questions. I want to thank everybody for being here. I am so excited about this next phase. And I want to say we've reorganized our campaign literature. We have a campaign manager. We have people focused on websites. We have people focused on social media. As this thing starts to ramp up, I'm going to tell you it's going to be a blitz. So look, I'm asking you all to join in. We need the Army. We need the Army on the street. We need people walking with us. And we look forward to working with you and keeping this city on track. Thank you, everybody.